Hello, I'd like to introduce myself. I am the owner and CEO of the Champ Clinic and LIT, Life Improving Technologies. My name is Dr. Nick Sutton. My clients call me Dr. Champ for both a focus on both spirituality and a focus that even in spirituality, it should be about winning and getting gains and moving everything forward in that way, but also in the business world. And so in the business world, when you come to see myself at the Champ Clinic, what I focus on is not some yesterday stuff of shame and regret, but it's how do we help you be you better? And that's really what it's all about. And on the spiritual side of things, we got to reverse some things and to influence the people in our audiences a lot better. So right now we have the announcements of the LIT SOI boys and girls. And SOI stands for Sermon of the Year. We had just recently given out the awards for Pastor of the Year. Congratulations to all you finalists and winners. And today, I'm really excited. I've listened to, easily over 1,000 sermons this year. I'm sure they have a count record somewhere, but it may have broken every record of all time of listening to sermons. And I love you guys. And I'm not one of these brainwashed followers of them, and I'm sure they would tell you, no, he's not. I'm a Jesus-filled, loving person that wants to see everyone do better. And so that's what I listen for in sermons, and I try to compare it to how it can impact the human brain. These are the stipulations I made these decisions on. How is their message helping people? Is it based on faith, hope, and love? And in other words, that means thoughtfulness, awareness, and focus. Are they helping people feel loved, know what is good, and are they helping them move forward? So those are three that very few churches or very few sermons anywhere are hitting all three. So that's a passion of mine to deliver back. But what today is about is giving the awards and celebrating these awesome men and women of God who get out here and whatever message God's given them through their best of their abilities, they're slinging it to us. That's hard to do. It's hard to stand in front of millions of people or even 20 or 30 people in such a critical world that we live in today. But God just has been answering our prayers, and He's now answering them through technology. So technology now gives us a chance that in 2020 to be able to turn churches into places of healing. And so I will get into that in some of my other talks. Today, let's talk about the sermons that really impacted me this year. And I'll get to the winners at the last part. So one person who did make their way into the top three, he had two sermons, but John Gray had one called Battle Axe. And there's something that used to be a nickname of mine. I think it was John. I hope it was. If not, it was Stephen. But Stephen had one. Stephen, just go ahead and bring him up. Neither of these made the finals, and they're both similar. Stephen Furtick had one called Hammer Time. I really liked it. And sometimes the dates aren't right on your online videos so that we can see how you grow and so we can see how the chronological order can happen. Please help the people. Please help us get that right for the future because it's very confusing to Christians. So thank you. But both those were awesome. Hammer Time, Battle Axe. I believe in both. It's game time. It's hammer time. Bring your hammer. Bring your Battle Axe. And y'all set Battle Axe off. So here we go. Who else is out there? Oh, the winner of Pastor of the Year, Pastor Jensen Franklin, with his Y'all Don't Know sermon. He had a light bulb go off, and he had to go up and tell everybody in his audience, which is all of America and the whole world, y'all don't know. And it takes David-size courage to do that. That's what leadership is about, though. Even if you got to look at yourself in a selfie or in a mirror right here and go, y'all don't know. When you realize, boop, wait, God, show me something. I got to go tell the people y'all don't know. That's a lot of what the Bible is about. So that sermon is awesome. Let's see. T.D. Jakes, he's been dropping masterpiece after masterpiece in the last few weeks. His motivational, let's see, which one was it? Rejoicing in chaos, I think. If not, you'll find it on YouTube. But that one was a masterpiece. I loved it. He even came up with a name or found a name for something. All the rejection that we receive in this world. But still, the only reason it didn't get on the podium is because it still labeled something but didn't deliver it necessarily out of it. in a way that a label is only a way that a bunch of behaviors is called out here, and us to say, that is a lake. It's a bunch of behaviors that look like a lake, okay? But then we have to reverse for human behavior back into the mind, what part of the brain operates that, and how do we impact that person, and then how do we empower them and give them gifts because they are children of God to help them achieve the missions of God. So TD, you're the man. You sound like you're on fire again. I can't tell when the videos are dropping, but the Healthy Mind videos, Will Smith, thanks for getting on there. I think it's Les Brown, all the other people like Jim Ron. Man, we have very similar minds. I think you'll have more impact. Maybe get a little more aggressive with the sound, because the calm teaching, the people that are so sporadic that probably need it the most, don't hear that very well. But you can talk to me in that nice calm voice, because it sinks into me like butter on a biscuit, baby. Thank you, sir. Let's see who else is out there. Pastor Ben, hello, mate. Man, he did one that I felt like was from God to him. Sometimes, you feel like that's for you. And I even had the lucky blessing seat of being sat in front of Pastor Jensen's, Franklin's, which Ben's his son-in-law. Beautiful family, beautiful people. They work for the Lord all the time, 24/7. I love you guys. So anything I say that may ruffle your feathers is because God told me to tell you this. Hello, mate. I love you, mate. All right, so he had one. I happen to have this incredible, sometimes you get that front parking spot in a place. It was all coincidence, but I got to sit right up front, maybe second or third row, and see his Anchored to Jesus sermon. And man, I felt like it touched me, and I felt like that's a good example for teaching the whole world how to get anchored to Jesus, and then that's how blessings come. But the reason that one didn't make the podium is because it didn't have the instructions on what the church is to do, and how the people on the podium and how the people in the audience and how everybody else is supposed to help people get down that road. I love you, man, but you're about to flip some things and boomerang them back. Thank you for your spirit. It's fun. It's joyful. That's so hard to find. You're still a young man. I think you're going to move way up the charts next year. Find that freedom. Love you, mate. Okay, let's see. Paula Schreier, she had one end of the year motivational video. At the beginning of it, it would have made the whole thing, but I think there was a couple different people on the video. Not that those motivationals aren't the best, but this is soy. Maybe next year we'll have a moi motivational. I don't know. Soy motivational of the year, maybe moi. But right now, but Paula Schreier had one end of the year 2020. Look it up, and it really is talking. It's ladies need leadership too, and to go get to the place where we need to get to, and especially on the messages that I'm sending out here, that's going to take the priest and the preachers, the ones going to have to step out here and get their pretty little nice shoes dirty and their feet dirty, and start helping people. Come be farmers. We need to garden some stuff, man. There's people out here suffering. People one paycheck away. The majority of your congregation is one paycheck away from being homeless. And usually there are several payments behind on something else, so they kind of are homeless. It's basically a socialistic society that most of the 60 or 70% of the population live in, a paycheck or two away from disaster. And churches are a way that they can give back. And the two rules of the new law are to love Jesus your Lord, and you guys are doing the best I've ever seen on the planet ever until 2020. Way to go. That's a clap your hands, everybody cheer. We're going to heaven. But we're failing on the second step and loving each other. But Paula, I think it's Shire. Great job, sweetheart. We need women like you. I need women like you behind me and that have my back. And even in your message, I'm sure you don't know who I am, but your messages make it feel like you do have my back. That young creators and people that want to move this world ahead, and sometimes we get technology as ways to do it. I got to this beautiful lake by driving a car. So moving forward, let's see who else is out there. Oh man, this one. Pastor Ruff. All right, different thought. Pastor Ruff. Man, you probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite one. But you had the one tear down the walls, and I think that's the one that knocks on the door of the top 3 places right here. Tear down the walls. Last week at Free Chapel. Do not apologize for being black anymore. That's a false reality. We love you. Us white people, we love you. On TV, And during a few mistakes, people may sound like we don't. They just made this. But dude, I love where you're at. I love where your heart's at. But one thing I'd like to see you to kick down the door up into first place. When you're called to preach, I get your humility and I get you thanking Pastor Franklin, because it's worth thanking him. Of course you would want to do that. Of course you want to do that. But when you get up on that stage, you go. You've been called to go. You can thank him in the middle. You can thank him. Well, I'm not in charge of when you thank him. That's not my point. You love him. I do too, and I get it. But there's something that's more powerful about the freedom that can come by you owning that stage because God called you to do it. Okay? Nothing about not giving thanks. But there's something, a message that's just going to make your heart pound. Okay? And it's going to make the people, you got that many people up on stage, you weren't scared to get near the people of sin last week. Let's go, man. I think you kind of like the modern day Martin Luther King. And I think I'm kind of like the modern day WMLK, White Martin Luther King. And I think we team up and be more powerful, my friend. You're going to, prophecy. It's going to be hard to beat him next year in any of these categories. He's about to go off. Okay, now for our top three. There's a tie at third, because we like ties sometimes, and it gets more people on the podium. But there's a tie at third. Mark Rutland, Pastor Mark Rutland, Free Chapel. He gave a speech. Congratulations, Mark. I love you, my brother. He's kind of like that calm, wise man who's already gotten through that old man pride issues that a lot of people still carry, and they're still angry about they couldn't control their kids. It's just part of life, but he's kind of beyond that. And he can go right back up there and teach them why and how to let us all in. I didn't even know about atonement, but atonement's like closing the door on your past. I prayed a couple nights before while volunteering at Free Chapel to have my rear view mirror, a woman who I called to prayed for me, and a night or two, the next night he spoke about atonement, and it closes the door on your past, and that's why he got into the podium, because you have to close the door on your path. It's part of why Jesus came. He's gone. We're here. Holy Spirit's in us. Close the door. When you get washed clean, you're washed clean. Close the door. Let's move forward. So tied for third with him is Pastor Vo. Pastor Victoria Olstein. Congratulations. I think it said your Mother Day speech or something, but it says contentment is a state of mind. First of all, thanks for talking about the mind. But it's a place where a mother preaches and she tells other mothers that there's nothing she could want more than her sons and daughters. I don't know if she's got a daughter or not, but I know she's got Jonathan. But for her kids, say that, to have their own faith. Not to have to be like mom and dad's faith, and not for them to have to feel uncomfortable for having their faith, because God does speak to us individually. And it's kind of like one of the best messages I've ever heard. One, it made talented young people feel so special, like the whole Lakewood church does. And Joel, I'm sorry you didn't make the top three. I love you. You my number one. Kind of like Kanye, you my number one. But man, we gotta share some things here, and you'll see why. I love you though. Thank you, Joel. Victoria, congratulations. Joel, let's not take up her congratulations, talking about you anymore. Victoria, you fly like an angel, even above the eagles. So keep doing that and keep opening up the doors for us young people. In second place, I really thought this Sermon of the Year, I really thought this would be number one. But then God hit me and the Holy Spirit clicked today, and so, but the Pastor John Gray, relentless, baby, relentless. He had one that was about don't come down. God has made us high and mighty. We are of him. We are children of God. We are high and mighty in him. So people that keep wanting to take us down, don't come down. And he also talks about who's not going with me or him or anybody else that's going that way towards the sun and towards awesomeness and towards empowerment and towards letting go. And John, your sermons, a stage at Lakewood is amazing, and you've been on stages all over the world. Thank you for your hard work. I'm glad you're finally trying to get settled down there. I know you will. But what I've seen, you just exploding, and that's something about building churches I think is good, but we keep having one major pastor, and then the rest seem like they're underneath the other one. But when you see one break free like John Gray did, and I'm sure he still helps Lakewood, I'm sure they're all loving, but this is an observation. And I think this is something with Pastor Ruff too. Somehow he's got to know he's at the top too. He's up there. He needs to feel his own freedom. So Pastor Ruff, watch a couple of Gray's recent ones and see the freedom he got from that. And I'm not telling you to do anything, but I'm telling you to go free like that, even if it's just on the microphone, man, because the people need you. Okay? So congratulations, John Gray. I felt as much support through that as I have felt in any sermon ever. Congratulations. Second place, Soy. In the first place, since I'm a man of the future, since I'm a man of technology, and since I am a man of Generation Next, and you don't just get this award for some chump sermon. You get this award because you're next level, because you are Generation Next, because you are lit, and you understand that life-improving technologies are the future. You're not stuck in the past. So congratulations to Lakewood's own Pastor Jonathan Olstein, Pastor O. Congratulations. Your sermon called The Password is exactly what it's going to take. Because during these times of listening to all these sermons this year, I've realized I've been knocking on a lot of doors, knocking on everybody's knock, 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 knock. Nobody's let me in. You know why? Because it's the household that God is building through myself, people like John Gray, people like Pastor Jonathan Olstein, that is going to the future. And we are going to use joy, empowerment, and our natural skills and our natural talents and a lot of technology to help people get to where they need to be. It's ridiculous that in this day and time. And so in order to get back into the hotel of Champ, it's going to take the password that he talks about there, because we're ready to go. We're not waiting. Y'all aren't waiting on us. We're eager, young, Jesus-loving people. So everyone needs to congratulate Jonathan and get on board and listen to his sermon called The Password. Jonathan, I hope to see you soon, my friend. God bless you. Congratulations. You're the winner. First place. And of course, it would be a Generation Next. Somebody that understands the power of life, improving technologies in the combination of Jesus amongst Jesus' people. Let's take Jesus to space, Jonathan. Thank you. Congratulations. Thanks to all of you. You've highly impacted my life and so many others. Everyone should get on board. And sometimes we make Christianity too difficult. And so, yes, you need to go study the book, and you need to get into church for at least 1 year, as hard as you can go. Take all their classes, get in. But it's really actually as easy as this. God created us. Jesus comes to save us. Say, yes, I want Jesus to save me. Yes, I want Jesus to save me. You're now going to heaven. All right, now there's a third step. Now you need to go get water baptized, okay? And that will help set off the Holy Spirit. And listen to Pastor Jensen's sermons and learn about the Holy Spirit. But that Holy Spirit's how you go forward. That's the second part. Jesus came and everybody keeps loving them. But we're closing the door on the past. It's a new decade, 2020. We're only taking the new future. And part of the future is technology. So technology's in the Jesus culture now. Thank you for unlocking the password, Jonathan. Thank you. And congratulations. God bless you all.